So, Esmeralda, your first Fallout was Fallout 4. After playing it for some time, after dealing with the love-hate relationship you described, are you looking forward to the next Fallout?
I'm going to throw Fallout 4 in the trash. And I'm just joking. I definitely don't think I'm at the level of everyone else in terms of hype. I think that because I still have a lot more to do with the game, I'm not at that love. But I'm at the appreciative level, which is not where I was before. I didn't understand the hype at the beginning. Like, I would look at gameplay and I'm like, I don't understand what's so great about this. And now that I actually interact with it, I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm getting it. I'm gonna get what I like about the game. So I can't really answer if I'll look forward to a Fallout 5 yet, just because I have to play more. But I definitely don't hate my time now with Fallout 4 as I did a while ago.
Are you gonna keep playing it then?
I am gonna keep playing.
I wondered about that.
As soon as I get out of that weird glitch that I got myself in, where there's that legendary ghoul that just won't get
there are no glitches in Fallout. I don't know what you're talking about.
The best part was walking out of the vault once, like, I was, they let me out and seeing enemies raining from the sky, because, like, for some reason, like, it was popping in and it looked like goats were coming out, and I don't know why. So I was like, this is a great start to this game.
Yeah, you're playing Fallout now. Welcome to Fallout.
Welcome to the fold.
Absolutely. There we go. Are you guys anywhere close to done with it yet? I mean, are you ready to lay it down?
I have put in 30 hours at this point, and I still haven't gone to Diamond City.
Okay.
Like, I've talked with some people on Twitter and in the comments on IGN and YouTube about this, but, like, one of the great things I love about Fallout is it's a game that allows you to play it the way you want to play it, right?
Yeah.
Which is sometimes you don't have to. I haven't done the main quest at all, and eventually I will, but I like exploring and I like doing all of the things that it's offering me the opportunity to do. That said, it's kind of difficult to be excited for the next Fallout when this one only just came out, and it's difficult to wrap my head around, like, what even the next Fallout could do that this one hasn't already, right? The difference between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and even New Vegas was, like, there was a period of 5 to 7 years between those games that, game design in other games had kind of done all this unique stuff where I'm thinking, okay, well, hey, the next Fallout could have this, it could have this other feature, and all these cool different things that other games had now implemented. But I don't think we're not far enough out of Fallout 4 yet to where I can say, the landscape of RPGs and open world games has changed enough to where I know how a Fallout 5 could implement new and interesting things that Fallout 4 hasn't already done. So, while yeah, I love Fallout and I'm always looking forward to the next big Fallout game, it's difficult to say.
What about you, Vince?
I've put about 70 hours onto Fallout 4 and have not done a whole lot in the main story.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of points filled out on my map, and I've seen a lot of the glowing sea, for sure. Because that became the glowing sea became a fixation of mine at a certain point where I was like, you know what? Let me get to the nearest. Let me get to the nearest settlement to the glowing sea and set up a real legitimate stronghold there and make that kind of my, like, the game kind of corrals you into thinking that Sanctuary is supposed to be like your home base.
Yeah.
And I decided on
there are 30 settlements you can choose from.
Yeah, there are 30 settlements you can choose from.
But Sanctuary is the one they try to stick in. Yeah, totally.
and since I don't have nice. Since I don't have local leader, it's not convenient for me to, like, I can't link up my workshops so that I have everything in one. So that means it took a very concerted effort for me to move the bulk of my supplies.
Did you mule everything down to the glowing sea?
I made several mule. I made several mule runs, not to have all of it there, but to have, like, the bulk of it. Yeah, to have the bulk of it there. Of what
You're
I would
mad
need.
With power.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
I really wanted to make that my main place so that I could make regular excavations into the glowing sea
property.
And go. Yeah, that's right. It's the equivalent. Yeah, so, like, and what I found that was interesting is that off the edges of the
let's stop right there.
Why? I don't know what you think I'm going to say.
Watch the spoilage edge there. We're going to be careful here.
Oh, okay. I'm not giving away anything specific, but what's interesting is that, like, the I don't know if you want to mark it as spoilers, then fine. But, like, the map is a little bit more like, so there's the actual physical, like what looks like the edge of the map on the mini map on the Pip-Boy, but then like there are things on the kind of the outskirts outside of that, not like hugely significant things from what I've seen, but like you can, if like you get to the edge of that map and you're like, oh well that's all there is to see in the glowing sea, and then you're like, but hey, there's an icon on my compass off further west, maybe I should go check that out. So
it's like the Shire. It's okay to go beyond the edge of the map.
Right, exactly.
That's what
exactly.
I think. That we probably ought to keep it safe on that one. Let's not go any farther than that. Esmeralda, it's again Fallout 4. Your first playthrough, right in the middle of it. Haven't played a Fallout game before. What advice do you have for people who are coming into Fallout?
Go to IGN.com/Fallout4
I didn't know she was going to do that.
I think the best advice I can give to a newcomer like me is just that, like you guys said many times, it's okay to fail. Because modern games kind of like they allow you to fail, but you don't fail enough to like really like feel like, oh, that's okay for a Fallout game. And that's why earlier I was saying, like, when it comes to open world games, Fallout 4 is a top contender of like because it allows you to do so much, and because it allows you to just like build your own game with it. Like knowing that there's that trial and error portion to it just allows you to just like really appreciate all these small things that usually in modern games you kind of gloss over and stuff. And so like knowing that it's okay to fail, knowing that you're going to learn the hard way, just like a Bloodborne does and Dark Souls does and stuff, and that you'll be rewarded for it afterwards. Because there are games out there that will punish you for the sake of punishment, and it's not fun for me. That's why I'll probably never play like a Dark Souls, just because I feel like that game is kind of that way. It's like you kind of play and you're going to be punished and you know you're going to be punished.
I think people overplay the masochism aspect of those games a little.
Brian Altano definitely does.
I'm not sure that they're quite as masochistic. I mean, maybe it's because maybe I'm a masochist and don't know. But I like those games because ultimately they remind me very much what you're talking about, a place where experimentation is it is punished, but in a weird way the punishment is a reward because, again, it's teaching you, it's making you better. At the game, there's some blatantly unfair things. I think in Dark Souls 2, I open a door and run, and I just fall in a hole. But I also laughed. I just laughed. There's a door and there's a hole, and it's like Sean's story he was telling earlier. You open the door, the raider shoots a fat man in your face. It's kind of funny. I'm okay with that every now and then, as long as the stakes aren't too high.
Yeah, in Fallout, like even though there's a trial and error, like it's spaced out enough that I'm not constantly failing all the time. Like I may be constantly failing the objective I'm trying to reach, but once I'm done with the objective, I can just run for miles and find something new and be okay and be fine.
And you also lose nothing, whereas in the Souls games, and this is what I love about everything, you lose literally everything.
Yeah,
like
that sounds horrendous to me.
And that sounds awesome to me. That's
a quick thing for you guys. Go ahead, Sean.
I was just going to say greater challenge, greater reward. Like I love really hard games. That's why I love competitive games.
That's why I think EVE Online is the best MMO, because you actually lose things when you die. It's fantastic.
Yeah, stakes create tension, and tension is what compels me to feel like I'm part of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quick on that, Esmeralda, give one piece of advice. One piece of advice you have for Fallout players, guys, if you're going to impart a nugget of wisdom.
You want to go first, or want me?
Go for it.
So I said this a little bit on my Twitter, but the main tip I would give people is to take a good, the first time you ever go into that perk screen to put in your first point, take a good long look at all the perks and start cobbling together in your mind what you think your character looks like at level 10, at 15, at 20.
Yeah.
Have a vision. Like, this is not so the RPG and progression elements have become such a so ubiquitous in modern gaming. But at the same time, while they're in so many games, those development decisions, especially in action games that use them, are mostly meaningless and don't matter.
Right.
They're like straight line upgrades. Your gun will do more damage. Now your melee attack will do more damage. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. this is definitely a role playing game in that sense.
Yeah, in Fallout, those choices matter.
Yeah, they matter. If you try to put like 1 point in everything, like, I'll put a point in this now. I'll just put 1 point in that. There's a point over there. Yeah, I mean, that'll be fine in the very short run. But like if somewhere around level 15 to 20, those choices aren't starting to synergize in very powerful, potent ways, you're going to fall behind very, very quickly. And you need to have an idea in your head of like what like that fully synergized online build of your character looks like. Because if you don't, then it can always be corrected with some good, like making a series of good choices once you've kind of screwed it up can help bring you back.
Yeah.
But not like you still won't be in the same league of power as if you planned it out from the beginning of how you wanted your character to ideally play and made the choices along the way.
So you're just saying that everybody should take 4 levels of armor so they can have ballistic leave. Okay, there we go.
That's one way you can play.
I'm kidding. No, you're making excellent advice. Absolutely excellent advice. I totally agree with you there. Sean?
My advice is be the bad guy.
Oh.
Bad guys always have it better in Fallout, for sure.
Are you still playing evil?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know I could
big,
steal
dumb,
and pickpocket people until
yeah.
like it gave me the options when I was in Diamond City. I'm like, I can do what? No, I'm gonna try to be nice.
I have like my guy is like super high strength, heavy weapons oriented, like melee type guy, but he's real dumb. And I think it's real funny. So like he just walks around with a bat. He's a big dumb wandering moron. But that is like in my mind, it just allows you to take every advantage that you can. Sometimes, like early on in the game, I stole something from some I forget what it was. Oh, it was a fancy suit. I saw it sitting on a shelf in some clothing store or whatever, and I stole it. And Preston Garvey didn't like that, and I was like, Preston Garvey I don't care what you think.
Did you go get McCready?
Yeah, I need to find a companion.
He loves it when you steal. Go get McCready.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, cool.
It makes him so happy. Also, he has a terribly broken perk that gives you a 95% headshot, so you should really go get him.
I think you've mentioned that before. That's awesome. Yeah, I just think like
His perk is dumb.
Fallout is a world
really
to me
dumb.
that is like it's a wasteland. There's all sorts of seedy characters out there, and even the good ones aren't entirely good. And I think that if you want to really get ahead real quick, you steal everything, you kill everyone, and you take everything for yourself.
So that's Sean's advice for life.
Yeah.
Okay. Steal
I
everything
don't want
and
to be
kill
near
everyone.
you when the apocalypse comes.
Or maybe you do want me.
You'll be my
Because
friend
I'll
and
be
then
the
take
way-
everything.
As
No,
Dwight
thank you.
Schrute once said, the hand that comes out of the grave is the strong hand you want on the wheel.
And on that terrifying note, on to the next topic. Just real quick, who are you traveling with, Esmeralda?
Codsworth.
You're a Codsworth person. Okay, why
Well, that's
Codsworth?
because Dog Me kept crying, and
Okay.
it made me very sad. Good thing he doesn't die, otherwise it'd make me uber sad. But I felt like he wasn't really helping me anyway. Like, I'd tell him to go somewhere to distract, and he'd just come right back or just sit still. So Codsworth had actually, like, been doing a lot more damage. And, then I got to Diamond City, and I got that detective guy who's coming.
Detective guy?
Yeah, the Sith?
Synth. Yeah, the Synth. Yeah.
The Sith
If you were a
from Star
Sith,
Wars?
that would be amazing. The Lord of the Sith.
He is both.
Lord of the Synths. So Nick Valentine, you've run into there, but you're traveling with Codsworth at this point.
Yeah, well, I switched him just recently.
Do you like him? Okay.
Nick?
Personality-wise, Codsworth or Nick?
So I haven't really played a lot with their Codsworth really likes me just because I've
He
helped
was your
everyone.
robot.
Yeah.
He was my robot and I helped a lot of people, so he's been kind of on my side and stuff. I haven't had anyone really like any of the companions say I didn't like you doing that. So I haven't really had like that dynamic yet of like.
Well,
what
you're
does
probably
that
being nice.
mean?
Yeah, you're probably being nice around Codsworth.
Yeah.
He's fairly easy to please. What about you guys? Who are you traveling with?
Right now, I'm still using Preston Garvey.
Okay. Even though you're like, I don't care what you think, Preston Garvey?
Well, now I've just made sure to be like, yo, stay over here. I'm gonna go rob this place.
Oh, okay.
So like, he doesn't see when I do it, which means he can't judge me. So I'm still using him. The reason is because his rifle is really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Preston Garvey as like a person.
I wish they
Like,
would
just
change
wish
it
he
so
didn't
like
judge me.
instead of Preston didn't like that, it just said Preston Garvey judges you. Like that should-
Yeah.
Like a Telltale game.
yeah, exactly.
He
Yeah.
will remember.
Preston Garvey will remember that.
Exactly.
Oh man, Carly will remember that. That was a great moment. That was a great moment in gaming right there.
Indeed.
I really love that.
Indeed.
What about you? Who are you traveling with, Vince?
Solo. I don't use a follower.
Oh, okay. Do you use was it Lone Wonder then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
do.
was wondering about that. So
Yes,
traveling
indeed.
all
How do
on
you
its
pick
own.
up all of this stuff?
Well, because Lone Wanderer gives you a bonus to your encumbrance
Nice.
threshold.
Is it as much as having a secondary person?
It's not as much, but like I'm just judicious about what I pick up then and what I drop. And yeah,
Pass on all the coffee mugs, huh?
you know, well, not all of them, but I do try to prioritize. This is what I'm looking for now. This is what I'm looking for, now, and you can offset it also by using, by coming back with power armor
Yep.
and kind of making those big hauls if you need to. But one of the reasons I play lone like that as well.
Because you are a loner.
Ooh, yeah, you know it.
You're the loner with mystique.
I don't know about Mystique. But yeah, the reason I do that is because I'm very, very, very stealth oriented. My whole build is centered around like huge sneak attack modifiers and multipliers. Just massive, just ridiculous. And
So you're Captain Min-Max. You really are. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Captain Min-Max. So because of that, yes, I can have my follower I can tell them, hey, you stay over there. And that can work. But it's like I can either go through all this extra hand wringing to make sure they don't screw up all the stealth I'm trying to do, or I can just get rid of them and have more base damage, which just means that sneak attack. When you that little bit of extra damage, that extra damage percentage I get, when you multiply that out through my bonus from silenced weapons, through my bonus from my normal sneak attack modifier, and then the extra modifier from being a ninja, you multiply all that out, and I'd rather have that extra damage from not having them than have
That's
to deal
super
with
cool.
managing them.
Yeah, that's
See, I
really
wish
cool.
I could re-roll at some point in the game and try out builds like that. That's one thing I wish that was a mechanic in the game or a feature.
And that's why the Lord made console commands.
Yeah.